The good old mainstream media. One day it's this, the other day it's that, and it's all fear mongering for the most part at the end of the day. And this could cause a lot of harm to you as a stock market investor, especially if you take what they say too seriously. So we have to break down the mainstream media in this video. We'll talk a little bit about Russia and Ukraine. And of course, we're going to talk about the stock market. We're going to talk about what's going on so far today. It's currently 10:15 a.m. So if you guys find value, hit the like button, subscribe, join my Patreon, and make sure to get your 5 stocks from Moo. All you have to do is use my link, deposit $100, and you could get up to 5 stocks, each of which could be valued up to $3,500. So take a look. Markets are ripping right now. Like I said, it's 10:15 a.m. on the East Coast, and we have the Russell up 1.6%. The Nasdaq's up also 1.6%. We have the S&P up 1.2%, and we have the Dow up over 1%. And get this, guys, the VIX, the volatility index, is down 7%, and we have gold and silver getting destroyed. Gold's down 1%, silver's down almost 3%. So based on what I just said, markets are up, gold's down, silver's down, VIX is down. You must be thinking to yourself, fear is slowly coming out of these markets and going back into risk assets. Risk on assets being stocks. And if you think that, you're right, because this morning we got news that the Russian Defense Ministry is beginning to return troops to deployment bases, and these are some troops, not all of the troops, but some troops are returning to deployment bases after training exercises near the Ukrainian border. Russian Defense Ministry spokesman Igor, I'm going to butcher his name, Kanashkinov, or something like that, said troops who had recently been posted to Russia's southern and western military districts, which share borders with Ukraine, had completed their drills and, quote, have already begun loading onto rail and road transport and will begin moving to their military garrisons today, end quote. So essentially, this is causing a nice pump in the markets. It's alleviating some of the fears, maybe the tensions between Russia, Ukraine, the U.S., NATO, all this craziness going on. Maybe it's slowly dying down. That's what the market is thinking right now. And what you guys have to realize is the mainstream media, they want to cause you, me, everybody watching, they want to cause mass hysteria for the most part, right? It's not like they want everybody to go crazy, but they do want to stir up the pot, right? They want to stir up the pot, cause a bunch of conflict, bring clicks, bring eyeballs. I mean, you guys have seen that chart, right? Where Joe Rogan had 11 million views or whatever per episode, and you guys saw the chart from, the Joe Rogan and all the mainstream media outlets. You had Fox News, CNN, MSNBC. These legacy media outlets, they're dying. It's obvious. It's clear as day. They've been dying for years at this point, a slow and painful death. I think CNN is at the bottom. They're getting like 800,000 views or something. So these independent people, Joe Rogan, a bunch of other ones, not going to name all of them, they are crushing them in terms of views. So what the mainstream media needs to do at this point, they have to rile up your emotions, they have to cause mass hysteria, and if they do that, in a sense, they're winning, but they're obviously not winning as much as, the independent people of the world. But still, to get clicks, to get money, to bring out revenue, they have to rile up your emotions. And I know a lot of you guys know this already, but at the end of the day, this is what the mainstream media does. And this causes the stock market to be volatile as ever, especially in time periods like these when they're, always talking about war. Oh, we're going to go to war. There's going to be a World War III. This is going to cause mass hysteria, and people are going to make stupid, irrational decisions when it comes to their investments, right? And they try and distract you. Another thing, you guys know this probably, right? The mainstream media tries to distract you from other things that are going on. We're not going to talk in specifics in this video, but these things could be anywhere from the CV, the virus, right? This could be anything from different bills they're trying to pass under our noses. whatever bills those may be. So, they might be like, oh, the war, World War III, but under our noses, they're trying to do this, right, behind our backs. And this could be court trials. Let's say there's prominent figures in court that are being tried on cases that are massive cases. They might not even report that, brush it under the rug, use this as a distraction. They can do this with inflation, right? The rate hikes, economic problems. These things are all, for the most part, these are what the mainstream media tries to distract you from. And there's a lot more things, guys. The list is freaking endless. But you have to understand, when you see something on the mainstream media, don't just take it for its face value. Understand that they might be trying to deter you from something. And try and watch the CNNs of the world. I'm not taking a stance like, oh, I'm on CNN's side. Oh, I'm on Fox's side. All of them do this, right? All of them do this. Try and watch the news and then try and look at it from an angle and be like, okay, why are they saying this? What are they really trying to do? Is this legit? Is this a bunch of BS? At least that's what I do. And I really recommend you guys do the same. Don't take it just for its face value. Try and look at it from different angles. And whatever is hot at the moment, you guys know this, whatever is popping hot, whatever is getting the clicks at the moment, they are going to double down on it. And they are going to talk about this whatever this is, until the end of time, or at least it seems like it, right? With the whole CV, you guys remember every freaking day, all day, that's all they were talking about, right? And then boom, it drops on a dime, it switches. Now it's inflation, now it's the economy, now it's the war. Whatever they're talking about, whatever's hot at the moment, whatever is bringing in the most fear, whatever is bringing in the most clicks, they're going to double down on it and talk about that. And you're probably looking at me like, Stas, don't you put weird thumbnails and clickbaity titles? Yes, every YouTuber does that as well for the most part, right? But the difference is the messaging behind it. These mainstream media outlets, they bring you in with these crazy headlines, and then their messaging is fear-mongering, straight-up fear-mongering. Me personally, I have these crazy titles sometimes on these thumbnails, but the messaging behind it, it's not like I'm fear-mongering you guys, or I'm telling you to just jump ship. I'm being real. I'm being real, and I'm not coming from a point where I'm trying to freak you guys out. That's the main difference, right? And they're always looking for the next thing, the mainstream media. They're always on the hunt for the next thing that's going to be their vehicle to drive clicks, fear, and to push their agenda, whatever the heck their agenda is at the end of the day. So that's a little bit of a rant on the mainstream media. We could talk about this all day. And the markets are very, what's the word here? They're very vulnerable to the mainstream media, let's put it that way. CNBC as well. They're mainstream media, guys. They're thrown into this group as well. So the stock market, let's talk a little bit about it, right? Once we got a little bit of news this morning that the conflict is alleviating, now we're getting a pop in the markets. And then who knows, maybe tomorrow in a couple of days, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, whatever the heck, they might come up with some titles and some news to start freaking people out again, right? To start freaking people out again, and this could easily start dumping down. But as of now, markets, like I said, they're ripping. Everything's up over 1%. VIX is down. Metals are down. That's a good sign that we are moving up in the very short term. But, guys, take a look at this. On the 20-day chart, SPY is right by a big resistance, the 180 SMA, on this hour chart, which has been resistance for weeks. So if we don't break out of here, this rally that we're seeing could easily be a bull trap. We might end up dumping. Same thing with Triple Q, right? Triple Q is running up today, 1.5%, but you guys can clearly see we are seeing resistance at the 180 SMA at about 355. Now we're trading in the low 350s. This rally we're seeing could easily be a bull trap, especially, like I said, if we get a flip in the news and we start getting that fear-mongering again, which probably will happen about something, these markets could easily take a hit. And the worst thing you can do, especially as a long-term investor, if you're a trader, it's a little bit different. You could probably trade in and out of these things, the fear-mongering and so forth. But if you're a long-term investor, the worst thing you can do is sell out of everything, panic out of stocks, whatever, index funds, individual stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, the worst thing you could do is panic out when you're seeing these crazy headlines, because at the end of the day, these headlines, if they throw you off the course, you're going to suffer long term in terms of your returns, guys, because you've heard this saying. Timing the market beats timing the market. You've heard that. It's too cliche at this point. And another statistic, I forget exactly, but if you missed the 20 or 30 best days in the markets over the past however many years, if you know the stat, drop me in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Some of you guys probably do. If you missed the best days in the markets, your return would be a lot less than if you were in the market. So in other words, you have to stay the course, guys. You have to stay the course. Ride out this volatility. Ride out all the fear-mongering. And just move the noise away. Just take the noise out of your life and just dollar cost average. Invest in sound companies, ETFs for the long term. If that's what you want to do, invest for the long term, and you'll be golden. And do not let these mainstream, I don't want to be rude here, but these mainstream morons, right? Don't let these guys and gals throw you off the course. We're going to wrap it up there, guys, on that note. So if you all found value, hit the like button, subscribe, drop me a comment, join my Patreon if you want all my buy, sells, call-outs, morning update videos, plus more. That's linked down below. And you guys could also get 5 stocks from Moomoo. Use my link, deposit $100, and you could get up to 5 stocks, each of which could be valued up to $3,500. Get your money, link down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.